All right. Let's
Welcome
move
hour 2. We have Milwaukee Tool session. Starting off, DJ Colvin hopped in and said, "Hey, Emilio, bought myself some more Milwaukee Tools not too long ago. M18 Brad Naylor coming soon." Let me tell you right now, I don't have me one of those. I need to get one. They're on sale, $50 off right now, about $249. But dude, you know what's helping me get the lights on the tree or on the parade float? We had the M18 Rover light. Okay, Milwaukee.
You're an amazing person. You know that, don't you?
Sponsor the show, Milwaukee.
This is hilarious. DJ Colvin, I don't know who you are, and obviously you're on Rumble, right?
Yeah.
And you're bringing this up. Well, I got a message from Andy Monday earlier. Pull that comment
Let's
down.
go.
Check this out. Pull that comment down. Read what it says here. Andy Monday just randomly texted me and said, pick this up from Home Depot, 50% off. Let's finish that bathroom remodel.
Woo! You find the yellow
something?
sticker. If you see a yellow sticker in Home Depot, you take that thing and you run it to the register, okay? That's it. Bottom line. It's red. It's not Milwaukee branded, but it is red. Yes.
You got a Milwaukee sticker on the head. He's got some fake headlights on the front of it, the whole 9 yards. So.
Well, I appreciate you showing up for hour 2 Milwaukee Talk. Now we can get back to the Packers.
There you go. Sponsor the show, Milwaukee. All right.
Ooh, sorry, put that one. Put Prince's up there.
I seen Oprah, and I'm like, that's probably a good thing.
It's Clayton. He says it's Dave Colvin from Patreon.
Got
That's
it.
DJ. That's DJ.
Appreciate it, DJ. You're the man. Yeah, so, yeah, pull that back up there, Tim. Let's hit it anyway, man. I think it's worth mentioning here. Why not? We're already off the rails. Prince in the chat says, hour 2, ESPN is the Oprah of sports television.
Where's she at, by the way?
Have anybody seen her lately? I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll keep an eye out. Anyway, let's move on to some Jordan Love talk, shall we?
Yeah, one of her mansions. She'll be okay.
It should be okay. All right. Pac Daddy tweeted this out because Dove, whatever the hell his name is, Kleiman, said, yikes, Packers quarterback Jordan Love has been one of the worst quarterbacks against the blitz this season. He ranks 30th when blitzed with a grade of 63. And as Pac Daddy pointed out, quote tweet says, as mentioned on the show, this seems to have been cleaned up since the bye. He's the 5th highest graded against the blitz with 344 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. So
yeah, tell him, Pac Daddy. Tell him.
Probably should have tweeted that out a few weeks ago there, Dove. So,
man.
Yeah, it is funny that stat was that stat was pulled when this was going on 3, 4, or 5 weeks ago, and now all of a sudden, playing better. Now is the time you're going to post it as if that's still.
Where'd they pick that picture from too? Was that his first year in the league?
Right. Yeah. Like it looks.
That's like Clayton trying to go back and find a picture of me from back in the day, man. He pulled out the old high school photos.
Facebook stalking, man. That's how you gotta do it, bro.
Jordan looks like a teenager in that picture.
He really did. All right, let's keep it moving here. Another tweet that went out, Pac Daddy. He said, as mentioned on the show, that's the one we already hit on. Okay, never mind. That's the one I was supposed to pull up, but we gave Dove a little notoriety there too. Is it Dove or Dove? You guys let me know in the chat. All right. Matt Schneidman tweeted out, Edgerrin Cooper, Romeo Dobbs, and Evan Williams are off the injury report and good to go for Sunday in Seattle. Obviously, Corey Ballantyne is questionable. We kind of hit on the injury report already. This one was interesting. Check this out, guys. So, ML Football tweeted out, the Detroit Lions have raised their season ticket prices for their fans by an average of 25%. Some fans have received increases of nearly 60% compared to tickets from last year. Detroit fans are very angry about this. A little winning an immediate price increase. So
it sounds like YouTube TV out there.
Yeah, hey, another situation.
Sorry, Lions got to get their money while they have fans. I mean,
see,
what are you gonna do? They all showed up a couple of years ago, and magically they have season ticket holders now. I didn't know that existed in Detroit.
I bet everybody bought their season tickets like this year. You know what I mean? Like they still had a bunch of openings. Anybody that wanted season tickets could get their hands on them.
Yeah, Cam in the chat said, "Let's hear from them fans now." Laughing emoji. It's so true. And here's what's hilarious: we always get talked about. It's the screen. Put it up, Tim. What did Mrs. Green say?
My wife is on fire.
Is that all right? So anyway, let's try to get this back on track. Isn't it funny that we always get knocked on because we don't have an owner, right? And then listen, our price is raised too. I get it. Everybody across the league does. But this just goes to show you, man, the second they have some success, hey, we don't know how long this is going to last in Detroit. That's what this reeks of. Let's get some money while we can. I love it.
I don't want to pat you on the butt and you poop my hand. So
looks like that's happening, Matt. I don't know.
Does kind of look like Skeletor, don't it? We need a Photoshop that. Drew D in the chat, Mrs. Green, you said what we were all thinking. LOL, so true, man. Look at this, Cam in the chat. She looked like Smeagol, my precious. Let's keep it moving. You guys are toxic.
How dare
Mrs.
you?
Green, Mrs. Green's in timeout. Hit the mute button on her. She took us off the rails.
That's
All right.
terrible.
Let's see. Did we hit? Yeah, we already hit on this one earlier as we were talking about everything. So look, and then we got a double shot of Skeletor.
Oh, hey, we could get hit with copywriting ourselves, so we better watch ourselves. But
yeah, exactly correct. Good call.
They'll get us.
Get off the
Edit
screen.
these. How about that?
DJ Colvin, man, this show sucks. Keep going off the rails. Love it. The subs are going down, and DJ Colvin just keeps hitting that like button. So appreciate him.
Milwaukee M12 fan. It's got a bracket and it's magnetic.
They're never going to sponsor us. You keep giving it away.
Bro, ask Clayton. This thing kept us cool when we were up in. I brought it right into the restaurant, slapped it onto the table, cinched it on with this right here, cinched it right on, done.
Emilio rode into town for my brother's funeral, and we all went out with the family afterwards and grabbed a bite to eat and went to this restaurant. It's just always phenomenal. That one day their AC was out, so it was hot. It was bad. Emilio said, I'll be right back. He comes back and puts a Milwaukee Tool fan on the table and blows it down. Work, man. Work.
Always ready. I love it.
Comes in the trip.
All right, let's actually talk some football here, guys. All right, let's try to salvage what little bit of credibility we have.
Hour 2 is just going to plummet, man. They're going to go on there. Just what?
I don't even want to be here, bro. All right, just looking at the Seahawks and what they've done this year. So let's look at the last 4 games, okay? Because this is really the last 4 game saturation. What teams did they beat? They're on a 4-game winning streak. They beat the Niners 20-17. All right, we know the Niners have been banged up. We beat the same banged up team, so 20-17, a pretty good win over the Niners, in my opinion, right? And it was at the 49ers, so it was on the road. That's pretty significant. Had the Cardinals at home, beat them 16-6. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but the Cardinals don't have like this great defense, right? Like they don't have an awesome defense, do they?
Not that I remember. We were kind of carving them up. I feel like it's their offense. I think that their offense kind of crapped the bed a little bit.
I was going to say their offense is nothing to write home about either.
Kyler didn't do too well, but yeah, that's a 16-6. They got it done.
Drew D says middle of the road defense. That's kind of how I seen them. I didn't see them as like horrible.
That's fair. They're not terrible, but they're not great.
And the fact that they only scored 16 points on them, that's probably the game that you really want to go back and watch and go, all right, what did the Cardinals do?
Well, even checking to the right there on their points for, Cardinals 284, points against 289. That's pretty close to where Seattle is 302, 283 versus, LA is giving up 338 and San Francisco 320. So that's, I would say middle of the road defense for sure.
Yeah, that's a good point. And then you got they beat the Jets 26-21 on the road there. All right. So I don't know, man, just looking at who they beat the last 4 weeks, you don't see any team that you go, wow, they beat a powerhouse, right? You just don't see it. Cardinals, they beat 30-18 the second time. That's more what you would expect there. Right. So, and who knows, maybe the Cardinals were banged up this time around. I would go back and watch that first Cardinals game. I'd watch all 4 of these games if I was, like from a coach's perspective, go watch the last 4 games. What are they doing here recently? And definitely watch that Cardinals game. Okay, was it just a fluke? Did something crazy happen? Was there weather involved? Who knows? But, anyway, that's kind of their last 4 games. Anything
they haven't really played anybody super legit since week 8, week 6, something like that. Buffalo.
Yeah, no, and looking at it, they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 wins at home, and then they have 4 losses at home too. So that could be big for us. And also, I would maybe look, if we're watching film, Clay, I'd probably pull up the Lions game too, just being at a 29-42 game, kind of see where they're at after we just left the Lions. Let's see kind of, what crisscrosses there, just because I'm not super happy with how the 49ers have been playing, so even since kind of the middle of November there.
All right. So again, just wanted to take a quick look at it. Let's go to their stats. All right. And let's see what they're doing statistically, especially from the receiving aspect. I really wanted to dive into this. And let's see. First of all, let's look at Geno Smith's numbers here, passing wise. So 324 of 466. So his completion percentage is right at 70%, 69.5%. Really impressive there. 3,474 yards passing, 14 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, though, guys. Like that's his rating's 90.4, but he's going to give you some opportunities to pick him off, isn't he?
Does he get raked over the coals about picks like our quarterback does for no reason?
That's a great question, Tim. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
This is what I was trying to get to pull up here. I know people in the chat, some people are saying they're having a hard time reading it. We're going to go to the tape here in a second, so hopefully that makes it a little bit better for you guys. Kenneth Walker, obviously, he's their starting back, if you will. 145 attempts as opposed to Zach Charbonnet with 97. Now, Kenneth Walker, the third, averaging 3.7 yards a carry. Zach Charbonnet, 4.1. And Geno Smith scrambling. Looks like he has scrambled 46 times, has a touchdowns there too. But, as far as rushing yards over expected, he leads the team, believe it or not. So these backs definitely haven't done anything special, although Zach Charbonnet, 45 rushing yards over expected as opposed to Kenneth Walker, the third, negative 13. So it does kind of feel like, in my opinion, Zach Charbonnet is the better back this year. So even though Kenneth Walker, the third, is going to be missing the game, most likely being doubtful, Zach Charbonnet is just as good, if not better back, it seems like. So keep that in mind. Now, when we look at the receiving, how does this yardage kind of stack up? Jackson Smith-Njigba, 911 yards receiving with 5 touchdowns. He's our leading receiver. Then it's DK Metcalf with 812 and 3 touchdowns. Then Tyler Lockett with 511 yards and 2 touchdowns. So that's how that's divided up. What I thought we would do is go in here real quick over the last game and just take a quick gander at some of Jackson Smith-Njigba's catches. And let's see.
He's that dude, right? He's probably their quote-unquote number one, right? If you had to put it on a guy.
Definitely. So let's just go to the Cardinals game, all right? And let's see where they're using him at. If I remember correctly, I think he's number 11, I believe. All right, I'm going to try to get this where it's full screen if you'll give me just a second. Let's see if we can get this where it's a little bit easier for everyone to see. That's a little better, ain't it?
Yep.
There we go. All right, so Jackson Smith-Njigba, again, he usually plays slot. Right here, I think he's playing sidecar left on this play. I could be wrong. Let's see, this is like an 8 or a 9 yard pass to him. I just want to get familiar with how they use him. Yep, that's him coming out of the backfield, ain't it? Number 11, right?
Yep.
So out of the backfield, quick little check down, little shoot spot, and then just 8 or 9 yards. So they will use him in that pony package the same way we use our 11 in Jaden Reed, right? Here's the next play. This is an explosive, if I remember correctly. On this play, I'm thinking he's in the slot right here. So I'm pretty sure that is Jackson Smith-Njigba on this play. Let's see what he does route-wise. So, again, this is a dub set. They've got strong left, but it looks like they're going to motion to Trey Wright. That's their tight end right there. So it is a Trey. They kind of went stacked with the Y in the slot there as well. And Jackson Smith-Njigba, corner route. All right, so they like working him out of the corner there. Nice route, right?
Yeah, I thought he'd go up the middle there on the cover too, but he beat him on the corner route.
Yeah, and he did a good job staying patient at the top of the stem and opening that safety
Across
up.
his face.
Yeah. Yep, froze him back there. Yep.
All right, so this play here, to me, it looks like it's Trey left, and he's the slot receiver right here, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so what we're seeing is they like to go – 2 of these plays that we've shown now are Trey looks, right? So look for 3-by-1 sets. When we say Trey, it's real simple. 1, 2, 3-by-1 with one of those 3 being a tight end, all right, typically. So let's see what he does here, working out of the slot. I'm pretty sure that's him at the top in the middle. Yeah, right here he's across the middle, another little spot play, right, underneath. So they really like to work him underneath with the spots.
And they were in there
that
too.
stuff has been eating us alive too.
It has.
These past few weeks. So,
what'd you say, Emilio?
I was saying they were in man there too, so I think that also does help him on that spot look, just because the safety was so deep. He's manning him up, that safety up there kind of wiggling, but you see the backer go with him. Dude, you're so far away at this point.
Definitely. And they overloaded, obviously, the left side there. And that's
right. Yeah. You're overloading it, hoping it's a zone or man, and you could still work out of it just because you can't stack everybody on top of each other. Not everybody can bump and run.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was thinking as we were watching that too. 2-0 for this says Cooper being back will make a big difference. He's going to be aggressive on that underneath route, right? So hopefully we get Cooper on the field pretty consistently. I just worry about Cooper that there may be some rust, right? So they might not just throw them right back in. But yeah, I'm in agreement with everybody, man. Harry Cheese having Cooper back this week would be big. Holmes in the chat says our backers need to be much deeper and more aware in space. Again, you take the dig away, they're going to hammer these spots. I would rather them hammer the spots than give them those explosive in the digs. Things can go wrong the more snaps they have to take to go down the field, right?
And I don't think we're going to see a ton of man-to-man looks.
Right. Right. Us running zone, you're going to be able to keep spots in front of you, eyes on the quarterback, which is something maybe if we have time here, we could pull up a couple of his Gino's recent runs, Clay. I'd like to see if it's read option or if it's scramble kind of stuff.
We can do that for sure. There's some pressure. And look at Gino getting that out.
Roll it back. You see the backs and tight end just didn't know what to do. I mean, this poor tight end.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Well, at least he took inside man, most threatening, but that back blew it. Kenneth blew it there.
Big time. Lucky he didn't get his quarterback blown up. But look at the yak there with Jackson Smith and Jigba, right?
Yep.
He's no Jaden Reed, but he's pretty darn good.
And that was zero. That looked like zero. Didn't have a safety over the top. You're one-on-one with the man across from you. Don't get beat.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see if that was all. I thought we might have had one more. Yeah, here we go. This is for 12 yards, Jackson Smith and Jigba. And let's see where we got him live. Well, look at this quad left look. Check it out. Tight end, right? Tight end right here. So it looks like he's probably the 2 in this quad left look. All right. Meaning there's 4 targets to the left. Looks like he's the number 2 receiver if I had to guess. He might be on the line there. Was he on the line? There, he was on the line. Yep. Wide open on that dig.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, can you go back pre-snap?
Mm-hmm.
So if we're on defense against that look, we've got to do the opposite of what Arizona did here, which was nothing. They stayed right in where they were, the coverage they were in, and look at he's butt naked through the trailer park, man. We cannot afford to allow that to happen on Sunday night. We're going to get lit up over the middle.
Yeah, because I rolled that back. So I mean, I would almost think that they're running a triangle up top with the corner, the safety, and the slot. Then you're asking your DN to drop. That's your box. You know what I mean? That's the box we're getting. I don't love that, but again, they're stopping the low cross. They're giving up the middle dig.
I would love to not see LVN running up the field with JSN. That would be preferable to me.
Yeah, and this looks like a cover 3 look here too. And that's an issue because you've got 2-on-1 out here with DK. And I don't think that was by design bracket. I think it was just a curl flat and a deep third. And what they're basically doing with this quad look and even that tray look we just seen is they're saying, all right, you want to play zone, we're going to overload you in that zone. That's how you beat zone. So going to be interesting to see how we approach this for sure. But I guarantee you the main focus for Hafley, because of how the last few weeks have gone with that dig route, is let's key in on the dig. We got to get better at that, guys. Oh, it just so happens Seattle loves playing the dig. Now, also keep in mind, remember that first touchdown catch to Jackson Smith and Jig with that corner route. If you're focused on the dig, that safety is going to cheat down. That corner is going to be butt naked. So you got to be careful with that. It's not just like, oh, yeah, that's all we got to do to win, right? There's going to be constant adjusting, and that's what we talk about, the 3 phases of the game. First quarter, gather information. Second quarter and third quarter, control that middle late, and then fourth quarter, standalone game, make your adjustment, and let's go. It'll be interesting, man, for sure. So you wanted to see – let me drop this down as I find it. You guys talk for a second on basic.
Yeah, I was hoping to see some of Geno Smith's run because I was looking – the stats there, it looked like he had I think it said 8 over 10 miles an hour, and then I think he even had 1 over 20. So, I mean, it's not like he's slow, right? It's not like he's an old, slow, athletic, mobile quarterback. He's got speed. The dude can move.
So let's look at – yeah, you're right, man. Holy cow, dude.
Like 46 rushes. That's a lot of rushes for a quarterback. And then let's look. All right, so 10 yards or more, he's got 12 of them. 15 miles an hour or more, he's 15 of them. And 1 over 20 miles an hour.
Let's look at that 20 mile an hour real quick. You want to?
Please.
Let's take a quick look and see, because I'm with you. This is
in the fourth. All right, real quick. Fourth quarter, minute 40 left, 1st and 10, down 3. Dude broke 20 miles an hour on this play. This
is going to look wonky because anytime it's one player you pull or one play you pull, it's going to stay shadowed like that. Hopefully we can see it. There's nothing I can do about it. Hopefully, maybe it'll clear, but here we go. Okay, yeah, so he's actually dropped back, and we gone.
Yep.
Oh, look what it was. Look, man coverage. See it?
Yep.
Watch the backs to the ball. Watch the backs to the ball right there.
And then the safety too. See, because the safety tried to jump it, tried to get the cross, jump it, dude. And then he was like, "Oh, I got to get back. I messed up."
And you see zero hesitation from him too. Look, he sees that coverage and he's gone. He just takes off.
The only thing worse than hearing Mark Gastineau whine is watching man coverage, man. I can't. I hate it with a passion.
Okay,
All
so he can move. All right.
Got that.
Yeah,
it was a
those
scramble,
attempts,
so no
those
design.
46 attempts, or you want 15 mile an hour, or whatever. I was just going to go off whatever 46 for his attempts.
Let's go with these 10 plus yard rushes. Obviously, we'll get one in there that we already seen, but let's take a look at it. So again, it's another drop back scramble. They brung the house there. That's that mid rushing lane we're talking about.
Man coverage again, dude. Cover one man.
Yeah.
Oh,
so it seems like
he not only rambled, but he rumbled and stumbled.
That was 34 yards and a touchdown, man. Phenomenal play there. Here's one for 12 yards. All right. Again, they're in the gun set.
What the hell is Detroit had one guy on the line?
Oh, this is end of the second.
Oh, I'm like, what defense is this?
Yeah, and they end up running a quarterback draw. So you think they're just trying to pick up some free yardage here and get out of bounds?
Yep. Yeah, they still have 11 seconds. So faster. I mean, he's probably faster than throwing that out route over there.
Yeah, and that worked too, man. Got you a little bit easier Hail Mary if you don't have time to run another play. So the quarterback draw.
Edwin Cooper back for this game.
Yeah, a little spy on him, right?
Yep.
All right, so here's drop back passing again. Yeah, again, look at that man coverage. Everybody's back turned on the backside there. So
he is not. I think that's going to be huge. Like Tim was talking about earlier, that's going to be huge for our front four. One, keeping contained. Two, keeping your lanes. I think that's going to be big.
Yeah.
Yep. And then when we send pressure, we gotta be disciplined if we're going to send a fifth or a sixth.
Because that's happening so late in his drop. He's already hitched. He's already turned. He's already on his third or fourth read. I'm gone. Like that's a long time to cover.
Here we are under center. This is for 21 yards. Let's see if there's a play action or anything with it. Yeah, little half play fake. Oh, look at that.
Even with a blitz.
Yeah, bro. And he had it. I mean, you got to put that on the end. I'd like to think our end can make that tackle.
It's almost like scramble is in his, like if he's going through his progressions, you would think read, it's not there, throw it away. With him, it's like read, it's not there, tuck it and run. You know, like he's not even thinking about throwing that ball away or eating it. You know, he's going to take off and run
we run that overload look too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we do, man. This is what you got right here too. Look at the overload, right? Got a double sidecar. Unfortunately, 3rd and 12. I'm having flashbacks from Danny DeVito. So
not feeling good, yeah.
Here we go. You ready? We'll see what happens here. Double sidecar. It is just a 4-man rush overload. He's just going to be patient. Step right up the middle, just like DeVito did, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, touch spy in the middle. You might not see a lot of sacks, but you got to keep his ass in the pocket and make him beat you from within the well. You got to, man.
Because we have to be good on the back end, because if we're giving up a backer, you know, to spy all the time, eventually, you know, Seattle's going to adjust too. So we have to be stout in our pass defense.
Look at this, boys. Somebody come look at this.
I can't believe he broke 20 miles an hour on that play too.
It's crazy.
And that happens. I mean, fourth quarter. You're telling me you wouldn't punch a wall if you saw him run for 35 yards with a minute left in the fourth?
Yeah, you kidding me? It's Fire Joe Barry all over again.
Yeah,
look at this.
Definitely.
Look at that. Did you see that? Watch this. Look at this. Bro, that's Geno Smith playing good ball.
Yeah.
Now, listen, with the 12 interceptions, it's obvious his overall grade being the 8th highest graded quarterback in the league. That running game grade has a lot to do with it, I bet. You know what?
I want to say it was Mike or Wes saying, but they were like, what if he just got that out? He got a second opportunity, and he's just like, I'm not going to go down not swinging. You know what I mean? Like he was a backup and everything. Now I'm a starter, dude. I'm going to throw everything that I see.
Yeah. Here we are in an empty set, so we're going 2-by-3 from left to right. Ball snap, 4-man rush. Same thing.
Coverage, man.
Yep.
Yeah, man, coverage. They tried to sugar single high, and then they dropped the second safety. It didn't matter.
All right. Damn, this is a lot of runs, boys. Lord have mercy. Here we are, a dub set. No, Trey left. It looks. That's hard to tell. What is it? No, it's dub. Yeah,
sidecar, sidecar right. Yeah.
Dub spread here. Sidecar right.
Overload front again, and they brought a 5th blitzer.
Yep. See? Now look at here's that touch. See that touch right here? That's what we've been doing to stop this type of thing. Let's see where they screw up here. Just couldn't get off the
He
block.
He didn't get off the block. Yeah. See, Quay's good at that too, though. We've seen Quay playing a little touch spy this year.
Oh, yeah.
And he's
Okay.
able to do it pretty well too. So it may not just be Cooper that we use.
Fourth quarter, 50 seconds left, 2nd and 13, down 4.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's crazy, dude.
I mean, that he looks like Lamar
He
Jackson.
picked up 21
Crazy.
yards or 16 yards.
That's nuts, dude. Nuts.
That's something we have to pay attention to. We absolutely have to pay attention to it.
Yeah. Here we are. Trey, looks like Trey left with the Y and the 2. Just right back up the middle.
This won him the game.
Devondre Campbell right there. Getting cooked. Getting cooked. You know,
Who?
you know what I'm seeing here, though, when we think about it?
Yeah.
They like to hammer the dig. You got to be aware of the corner, obviously. Jackson Smith and Jigba on the dig out of the slot. Huge. So if they like to hammer the dig and they like to hit the corner, all right, and he's scrambling a lot, for me, and listen, you got to hang your huevos out there, but cover 2 zone. Not Tampa either. Cover 2. Now, you could do Tampa match, but by doing that with a touch spy, 4-man rush, touch spy in the middle, everybody's got eyes on the quarterback. You take the dig away, make sure you get enough depth with the cover 2 look. If they want to spot it out, let them spot it out.
Right.
But the safety has got to be prepared to take that corner, right? Because you can't hesitate like the safety did there in Arizona for sure. So,
right. And that would put him in bunker shots and trying to split the safeties. I like that.
Yep.
You know, I don't think we need to cover 4, shell him, and just put everybody back there. I don't think that he needs that, but yeah, fluctuate between a little 2, 3, and just make him work everything underneath.
Get an interception for McKinney and one for Williams too, for sure.
Yep.
All right, let's. Do you guys want to see some DK Metcalf real quick? We got a few minutes. You want to do that?
Yeah, might as well pull it up. Let's see what they got here.
We'll just go recently, okay? Is what we'll do. So let me get it set up here. Scroll all the way down. Go all. So let's go to his touches against Arizona. What he did recently. Is that'll work on it?
Yeah.
So let's start with this play, 15 yards, and let me get it to where we can go full screen here again. All right, here we go. So this is to DK. There, that big guy is right there. A little nasty split. See it? Going to play inside out. Let's see if he works inside out or he crosses the entire formation. Going to cross, right? Mesh. See the mesh?
Mm-hmm.
Throw him open. There you go.
Wow.
God, he's a big human being.
And he hurt him.
Thick.
Yes, that's right, Coach F. All right, here we go again. Looking for the big fella. Where's the big fella? Right here.
Green
Slot
shoes.
right. Yeah,
Can't
looks
miss him.
like they're going empty set, Trey left with the T flexed up top on the same side as DK is what it looks like. So they will go empty flex. Now they're going to bring him back on orbit, the T, all the way to the other side. So now you got a quad look, a little diamond pattern here, right? And probably setting up a swing potential.
I do like that look. I do like a little swing out into the 3 set.
Yeah, look at the hat. 1, 2, 3 on 4, right? So you got a +1 in the hat there if you need the swing. But DK just going to put his foot in the ground. Oh, and a screen on the backside.
A little jailbreak. Okay.
Dang. All right.
So that was great play by the defense there to jump up and make that, because that was going for some. That looked like it was going to break.
Yeah. All right, here we go again. Now he's up top. It looks like he lines up on the right the majority of the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's a dub nasty look. Tight end. They love the motion at tight. Second time we've seen the tight end motion over and picking up the pass block and allowing them to double in the middle, right? So they got a lot of faith in that tight end being able to come across the formation. But here's DK.
Right.
Look at that little spot play, right there in the middle. Bang. So it looks like they kind of work that as a choice route, where they can turn it in almost like a post with a sit, or they can go ahead and complete a dig as well. Here he is again on the right. So you see him down here out wide. Everybody in nasty splits again. So you're going to be seeing those nasty splits all day long. Oh, we got a go route. Oh, look at that. That's a pretty route. This is the thing.
We always talk about him being big and strong and fast and good hands, but man, he's a hell of a route runner too. You've got to be disciplined.
Look at the yak too. So you've got to respect his deep threat, right?
Right.
Underneath, cut it back in.
And they went 4 wide on a 3rd and 2, up 9. You know what I mean? That's something we got to be ready for.
Absolutely, man.
We should be, because Detroit didn't have a problem doing that to us.
I'll say, man. All right, let's see. Is that it? That's all the plays from the Cardinals game. So, again, just to take a quick look, I think it's important. So, I'm glad we did that for sure. Anything else you guys want to hit on as we're off to Seattle? All right. We kind of hit on PFF a little bit earlier. Why don't we do this? Why don't we jump into – we got a couple of minutes here. Probably should save it for the morning show tomorrow, but we're not going to. We get greedy here, right? Let's look at the team rankings real quick and see where they rank across the league. Let's start with scoring offense, points per play, and let's see where Seattle's sitting.
I'm not going to, so quit asking.
Seattle's in the 13 spot with 0.373 points per play, so they're right behind San Francisco. Obviously, we played San Francisco earlier this year. Green Bay is still in the number 6 spot at 0.448 in points per play. All right, now let's go total offense, yards per play. Yards per play, Seattle is 13th in the league at 5.5. The Packers are second with 6.3. All right, so got the matchup there. Rushing offense, yards per rush attempt. Seattle is way down there, ain't they? 24th at only, actually tied for 20th at 4.1 yards per carry. Green Bay is tied for 6th at 4.8. So obviously their rushing game struggling a bit. Passing game, though, yards per pass attempt, where do they come in there? 14th at 7.5. So like nothing crazy, right?
I think it's because he throws the ball so much, right?
Right.
That it kind of dilutes his numbers.
I could see that. That makes a lot of sense for sure.
And the rushing's probably down because he's most of their rushing as well.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely. So let's go to giveaways. How often do they give the ball away per game? All right.
Should we ask this guy? I wonder if he knows.
I bet he does. Seattle is actually 23rd in the league. They're giving the ball away 1.5 times per game. So that's 23rd worst in the league. And the Packers, where are the Packers at? 16th at 1.2. All right. So they're going to give you probably a couple of opportunities in this game to take the ball away.
Let's go.
They'll probably give you 3 or 4 opportunities. Can you capitalize this question? So that's interesting. All right. Now let's go to rapid fire scoring defense. What does their defense look like? Opponent points per play. Seattle is 11th. So Mike McDonald working his magic out there. 11th at 0.346. So they're a borderline top 10 defense. I mean, we're in the 10 spot at 0.343 points per play allowed. So the defense is very, very similar from a scoring standpoint. Total defense, opponent yards per play allowed. Seattle is in the 13, actually tied for the 12 spot at 5.4, and we are in the 11 spot at 5.3. So very, very close there. Defense is very, very similar. Rushing defense. Let's go opponent yards per rush attempt. Seattle against the run is 25th at 4.7. Tim, what do you think we should do this game, bub?
Give Josh the freaking ball.
I want my sack
More
back.
than 25 carries. That's the magic number, man.
Run the dang ball, Bert. Run it.
Run it, man. 25 or more carries. Let's go.
Man. So, I mean, seriously, that's the weak spot of their defense is definitely running. Let's see what their passing defense looks like. It could be worse. You never know. Yards per pass attempt by their opponents. Seattle against the pass, 7th best in the league at 6.3. So you cannot, if you go out there and try to get pass happy, man, you're gonna find yourself in a bad situation.
Right.
And need to key in on the run big time, man. Take what they give us for sure. Now, if they load the box like Detroit did, all bets are off, right?
Yep, let's go.
Yeah. So there you go with that passing defense. I think that's pretty much it. Let's go to takeaways now. How good is their defense at taking the ball away? Seattle is tied for 11th with 1.2 takeaways per game. Green Bay is now tied for 3rd at 1.8. So they can take the ball away as well. So, anything catch you guys off guard there? Anything stick out to you?
I don't think so. No, I like that, we're going to have the opportunity. I think the defense needs to get back on that grind. And we had a couple games there where we weren't flipping it. And I think that definitely it'll help the offense giving up another possession, but also just kind of gets that flame going under the defense. Like, hey, we're something to be messed with too.
I think this really just shows us how tight of a matchup this is. Like we talked about, Clay, right? These are two pretty evenly matched teams. I mean, we see some of their weaknesses, compared with some of ours. Everything kind of seems to kind of balance it out, balance itself out, kind of a wash. So it's going to come down to execution, and it's going to come down to, like you said, man, who's willing to make the necessary adjustments and, win that middle eight and, grind out a game. But I think we're going to be in for a shootout. If I had to guess, right? I think another relatively high scoring game.
Yeah, it just depends on if we can get the run game going. You get 2 or 3 long sustained drives with the running game. I could see that keeping the points down a little bit. But
Daryl said, break out the old Lombardi suite. Let's go.
Yeah, there you go, man. I'm all about it. And here's the thing with the penalties. They are the 4th most penalized team in the league right now at 7.5 penalties per game. Green Bay is tied for 23rd at 6.8. So
that's almost we're almost having one more penalty per game from last year.
Yeah.
Like that's tough. That's something Matt needs to hammer down on for sure.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so there you go, man. There is your team rankings preview. What we learned, they've got a solid a solid pass defense, not so much against the run, and their running game is kind of subpar. Their passing game, pretty efficient. Although Geno Smith, 11 or 12 interceptions this year, he's going to give you an opportunity to pick the ball off. That's going to happen several times in that game come Sunday. The other thing I wanted to hit on, we did pull the weather report, the latest weather report. Keep in mind, this could change, but the latest weather report, obviously it's going to be a night game. So during the day, 48 degrees, a mix of clouds and sun in the morning, followed by cloudy skies during the afternoon. High of 48, wind just 5 to 10 mile an hour, non-factor there, right? And then Sunday night, cloudy skies with periods of rain after midnight, all right? So it sounds like there's not going to be any rain until after midnight. So
I wouldn't bet on that, though. It's Seattle.
It is Seattle. You're right. And you see the humidity there, 75% during the day. You never know, something pops up, right?
Yep.
But my guess is, though, we're probably not going to see any rain based off this forecast. But, again, it's Friday, right? So, not only are we worried about rain at the stadium there, but I guarantee you AFAM's making it rain somewhere on a Friday night right now, if you know what
AFAM's at the Oval Office right now.
That's exactly where AFAM's at. He don't even live in Green Bay, but they Skyped him in, I guarantee you. So, yeah, I mean, we got a couple of days that could change. We'll keep our eye on it and see if that weather report changes. But as it sits right now, it looks like it's going to be pretty clear. Clear weather. So
looking at their offense running 3, going 5 wide, 4 wide, 5 wide. Are we calling? I know someone was asking about it in the chat earlier. Are we calling more dime this game? And who's going to be our 4th? Who's going to be our 4th?
Who the hell is going to be the 4th?
Right. That's what I'm wondering. Is that we just took the dime package out of the playbook for now until we figure it out, or what?
I mean, that's the thing. They run 11 personnel 76% of the time. So I think we're going to be in our nickel. If Ja was healthy, they might press into dime a little bit. My guess is they're going to stick with nickel.
But then we're asking Cooper to run with them, right? Though, like, are you asking McDuffie to play or Wilson? Who are we going to be asking to run that tight end up?
Oh, with the tight end, I think it's going to be mix and match. I mean, you're basically going to have Quay. I hope it's Quay and Edgerrin Cooper on the field. We know there's going to be a good mix, though. Cooper's not going to play the large majority of the snaps. I wouldn't be surprised if he. I would be surprised if he cracks 25 snaps. I hope he does.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like they're probably going to hold him back a touch and not overdo it.
Right.
If that's the case, then when it comes to pass defense, you want Eric Wilson out there over Isaiah McDuffie. So maybe this is that game that you see Eric Wilson play a few extra snaps more than McDuffie. That makes sense. I'm just kind of
no, definitely
thinking out loud.
Yeah. I was just trying to think, like, even if we wanted to go dime, who would it be? So we've got Keyshawn and Stokes in there. Mm-hmm. Valentine's probably not going to play. Jaws out. So we have Valentine. That would be our 3rd, but we would need a 4th if we were even to go dime. Evan, we'd have at safety. You'd have X at safety. It would be
Kalen King
or Zane. I feel like that's like
see, that was my other question. That's a great point.
Yeah.
We talked about, could we move a safety into the slot
right.
in order to free up Keyshawn to play on the boundary since we don't have Jair? Do we think Zane Anderson's that dude? Can we run him up into the slot on some of these looks and then,
Yeah, and we kind of talked about it earlier, Obviously, you got Oladapo, too, so King or Oladapo makes a lot of sense. But we talked earlier, like, if you were to say, you know what, let's play a safety in the slot for a good chunk of this, not every snap, but a good chunk, is it going to be McKinney? He's more qualified, no doubt, but the problem is you'd like to have McKinney playing post safety and manipulating the backs down that coverage.
Yep, right.
So do you trust Evan Williams to play slot? Whoever is going to play slot, you're going to call man coverage. Let's hope it's very, very minimal. But there are going to be man coverage calls. It's not going to be 100% zone in this game. We know that, right?
Yeah.
So if that's the case, who do you trust more in space with Jackson Smith and Jigba? The only person I trust is McKinney. See, yeah, I mean, for me, it's McKinney. I'm talking about safety, strictly safety. If you were to
yeah.
So, this might be this feels like the game, in my opinion, though. Keyshawn does kick back to the slot, like Tim was kind of saying, and you run with Carrington Valentine and Stokes on the outside. I think that's going to happen.
Lord help us.
I just don't think they trust anyone else to play slot other than McKinney, and he's too valuable playing post and being able to slide down in the box, show spur, and then drop deep.
And are you going to ask Evan? And you probably wouldn't ask Evan to come down and play spur, just coming off a concussion and everything too. I mean, not that the dude's not cleared, but we're not going to have him stick his nose in there every play just because.
And he's going to, how he.
Right. Oh, definitely. Right. Yeah. No, it's just like if we can scheme him away from a majority of the contacts and play coverage, cool. But he's not going to happen. He's going to want to get to the ball. I think that's where you're right on. Oladapo might be the one that's going to lay the lumber, but I would definitely. As Tim was saying, I'd rather have Keyshawn inside, everybody tight, force Gino to, because we saw how many crossers and mesh concepts they ran. I'd be fine with him trying to force those out routes and those corners and things, and kind of let Valentine and Stokes hold that up.
Yeah. All right. Well, we covered it pretty extensively. We hit everything we wanted to hit tonight. So we will hop in here tomorrow morning for Good Morning Lambeau at 8:30 Central Time and dive a little deeper. What we'll probably do is the NFL Pro Insights tomorrow morning, kind of take a look at that and see if there's some next-gen stats that we may or may not have overlooked and see what's going on there. So appreciate you guys jumping on. This was fun, man.
Absolutely. Sure. I will be awake this time, but I won't be on. I'll be at the parade.
Unbelievable how that works. I might drive down to Maryville tonight and
you might have to.
I might cut the alternator loose or something. Drugs. You can't get out there anymore.
I'll see if maybe I'll just hop in on the pod and just be driving one handed, throw the phone up on the front of the truck and give you a little teaser.
Exactly. All right, guys. Well,
in a dumpster.
There you go. That's it. Here we go. DJ says,
boy.
Make sure you charge your Milwaukee tools tonight, everyone. That's right. Well, there's nothing
right here behind me, but I
heard it from a fan right here.
There's nothing worse than getting on that job site the next day and going, crap, I didn't charge a damn thing. That's the worst.
Charging.
The worst. And then you leave your charger at home. Yeah, that's even worse. Dead batteries with no charger. Oh boy.
Take them out of the car too. If you live up north, take them out of the car. Keep them warm. There's nothing wrong with bringing them in and letting them sleep in the warmth. Okay, it doesn't hurt them.
Hey, if you're cold, they're cold. Bring them inside.
Yeah, that's the truth.
That's what AFAM said about the Oval Office. If you're cold, they're cold. Bring them inside. You know what I mean? So Holmes in the chat said, "Well, this show sucked." Thanks, guys. I appreciate you, Holmes. It does suck. We're out of here. See y'all tomorrow. Goodbye.
There we go.
Bye, guys.